Isn't it funny that the word duty sounds like the word duty in America? You know, the cute name for a pool. So this is it, Call of Duty or Duty Modern Warfare 2019. It's back to the glory days, folks. The battlefield killer. Oh, sorry about that. Don't read into that now. Yes, indeed, the yearly COD train is about to depart the station. How has this year's COD changed from last year's offering or even the year before? What about the much hyped ground war mode designed to provide a battlefield-like experience and tempt those players over? Does it deliver? How can you marry this with the somewhat chaotic COD experience? We shall see. And what about crossplay? This should be a big deal, right? Here are my thoughts on last weekend's open beta. The game is scheduled to be released on October 25th for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Modern Warfare is the latest game in the Call of Duty series. This is a series that dates all the way back to October 2003 when the first game was released. Back then, the campaign was the focus with the multiplayer just an aside. Nowadays, it's mainly all about the multiplayer, going so far as the last game in the lineup not having a campaign at all. The COD series are FPS games that focus on fast-paced combat with very quick time to kill, an arcade, non-realistic feel with the ability to call in support mechanisms such as UAVs or cruise missiles. All very bombastic, but not necessarily a bad thing if that's what you're into. The series is well known for picking an event or a theme, and this time around the setting is a modern day conflict. In the beta we've seen industrial style maps, modern weapons and recognisable present day technology and vehicles. One of the kill streaks is even an A10, the best dang war machine ever. Let's start off with a really great advancement in the series, crossplay, and not just that, cross-save. Since everything is linked via your Activision account, it is possible to play on PC and then pick right up on Xbox or PS4 with all of your progress carrying over. Now, this was present in the beta and I'm really hoping it's something that carries over to the full game also. This is really next level crossplay and Infinity Ward are to be praised before it. Carrying on with the positives, Activision have confirmed there will be no season pass and future content will be free. This is great to hear, but let's see if loot boxes or other microtransactions creep in. It's kind of hard to believe they won't. This time round, thankfully a campaign will be included and it does sound very interesting, forcing the player to assess, react and make moral choices based on what is going on around them. Is she reaching into the pram for her baby or for a gun? Are you ready to face those decisions? I really hope so, as you'll be evaluated at the end of each chapter based on things like collateral damage you have inflicted. These ratings are tied to rewards and ultimately the dialogue options that will be made available to you. It sounds like it could be very impactful if implemented well. You won't find a zombies mode this time around, but what you will find is a co-op mode called Spec Ops. We haven't seen any details of this yet in the beta, but it sounds like a great addition for oldies like me who don't have the reflexes of a teenager on their 15th can of Monster. Oh, also, Captain Price is back. Come on! Captain Price! Is this vastly different from any of the past COD games? Does it break new ground? In my opinion, not really. There have been some nice changes, but this is still COD multiplayer. It is fast-paced, it is chaotic. Time to kill is insanely quick, to the point that seeing the other player first or camping are the two main skills required to get the drop on someone. The multiplayer still feels like an inaccessible experience, at least to me. What I mean by that is if you got owned in previous COD games and expect this to be somehow a different, more tactical experience, then you'll be a little disappointed. I apply this especially to the 64-player Ground War mode. This is the Battlefield clone, complete with a high-level map overview, capture and defend points, and the ability to spawn in on squad mates. As a Battlefield player, are you going to fit right in? Nope, this is just more COD multiplayer, except on a larger map with more players. Instead of a round of conquest, it feels like a very large team deathmatch. This produces the fun effect of kill streaks going off all over the place. More people equals more kills equals more kill streaks. You can also enjoy the announcer constantly calling out the latest kill streak that has popped. Because there are so many UAVs in the air, your minimap is constantly full of red dots marking the enemy location, to the point that it might be better to just use this than actually look in front of you. There's no incentive to capture any point, as the only thing that matters are kills. This means there is no real semblance of teamwork at all. You spawn into a squad, but no one ever works together tactically or in any other way. Sure, it's useful to be able to spawn back in on a teammate, and you can be sure it's super useful to aim a cruise missile at a load of guys clumped together into a handy little meat fest. There is just too much going on in this mode to allow any sort of coherent planning or tactics to go ahead. As you can't heal squad mates, you can't spot enemies, there's no real incentive for any teamwork at all. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a technically impressive feat and runs without any issues, at least that I've experienced on PC. It's just not a Battlefield replacement as it's been marketed. The lack of communication, coordination and ability to heal teammates means this is never really going to threaten Battlefield. Might be best to just stop comparing them and go to Ground War when you fancy a lighter Battlefield experience. It could be improved by removing kill streaks and placing some value on capturing and defending points. My impressions are from a Battlefield player's point of view. However, of course, from a seasoned COD player's point of view, this may be something that you love just on a larger scale. It might be a fun and fresh new experience, and if that's the case, that's great. Okay, it's not all moaning, there is some great stuff in here as well. Gunfight is a really cool mode. It's a 2v2 with random weapons. It's actually funny that these matches tend to be more tactical than anything I've experienced so far in Ground War. Games are over quickly at first, but in time you do learn the maps and can actually employ quite a bit of sneaky and fun methods and tactics. It is a tense experience and I look forward to more of it. I feel like the mode deserves its own reward system, something like a ranked mode or battle pass style progression 3. It is that much fun. Realistic mode is also a blast. No HUD, no hit markers, no kill streaks, just you, your gun and your skill. This was the mode I did the best in, and interestingly the way I feel Ground War should really have been. As I've previously mentioned, this is a core COD multiplayer experience. This means you can spawn into an enemy right in front of you, or if you're unlucky, behind you. It is chaotic by nature. It does not feel vastly different from any other COD multiplayer I've played, but maybe that's a good thing for you. For me, I fell off my chair when I realised that Ground War made Battlefield 5 look like a tactical masterpiece. Camping is rife. Do not stop moving for 1 second, and certainly think twice about crossing that open ground. It's a really weird experience, seeing so many people unwilling to go outside. This confines a lot of gameplay to the overly complex interiors of buildings with a crazy amount of angles and hidden perches to cover when you enter a room. Prepare to be splattered. A lot. And not in a good way. I didn't experience any communication of a tactical or strategic nature in Ground War or any other mode. That goes for voice and text chat. I did hear plenty of interesting new insults though, which were nice to add to the collection. The guns sound good, each one sounds different, punchy, meaty sounds as necessary. What's not great are the footsteps, which are really frustrating. Your footsteps and your enemy's footsteps sound exactly the same. Now this is fine in something like Squad or Battlefield, where you might have time for basic bodily functions like breathing. However, in Modern Warfare you're constantly checking 1000 different footstep sounds. Don't get me wrong, you can detect distance and direction, which is great. They just all sound the same. In some cases when I heard footsteps were close to me, I just didn't bother checking anymore, as I was dead if it turned out to be an enemy anyway. Visuals. The game looks good. Nothing to write home about for 2019, functional and pretty. One point of frustration is those building interiors that appear as completely black, so you cannot see the person camping you from them. At least the console players are having fun, realising that their sticky aim will lock onto someone that they cannot see. The guns look amazing and can be further customised on the gun bench, with all of the optics feeling really high quality and being a joy to use and try out and find the one that's your favourite. There are a lot of options to tweak the graphics the way you want, including an FOV slider and frame rate limiter, so it's really great to see this level of tuning and customization available when so many cross-platform games give PC players basic options. Despite the criticisms you've heard, I did have fun with the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta. I played with a friend and we certainly both enjoyed ourselves. He expressed satisfaction that he could play with his kids due to crossplay, which is a really great feature. I was definitely hoping for Ground War to offer a fresh new COD experience, but ultimately all it did for me was amplify the issues I already had with the turbocharged nature of the game. The progression in the game really worked well for me with a series of meaningful milestones. I wanted to play on to rank 3 to get custom loadouts. I wanted to unlock the M4A1, and in turn it was satisfying to rank up each of the guns I liked also. The progression system is really well designed, with a lot of thought having gone into it. So there we are. There was good and bad. And the stuff I felt was bad was just stuff that I personally don't enjoy in the series. You of course might like it. For me, I don't see myself sitting down to 3-hour sessions like I would in Battlefield 5, and this might be something to jump into every now and then when I need my heart rate to go through the roof. Of course, this is a beta and things can change. There's still an unseen Battle Royale mode, and as always, most things can be tweaked. A fun experience, but I'm very curious where this is going to go with such divided opinions out there.